We are here this morning in the transparent truck of the ADL Summit, and we want to interview Julia Zaher, owner and CEO of Tahini. Good morning. I'm so happy to be hosting you. How are you? Are you recovering slowly? Are you going back to the brand? I'm always optimistic. I'm always looking at the full half of the glass. I hope it will be good. I hope things will be okay. It will be okay. Okay, so we've been in this crisis for the last year, 2 weeks before elections. Let's kind of have an overview. Let's take a snapshot of Arab society. It's a shame about all the tourism. We see the market is closed. Everything is closed. We have a market in Nazareth, which is a pearl, a gem. And a few women came and they opened art galleries. So much art, so many beautiful things. And this week I went by, everything's closed. And I was so upset to see it, that there's no life. And what we have in Israel, we have in the Arab sector. People don't want to get vaccinated. That's a problem we have. Very few people have been vaccinated in Arab society. And I don't know how to convince them. I wish I could convince our entire people to go and get vaccinated and to get out of this prison. I call it a prison. We are in a prison now. It's true. And that's an interesting point. Why are the vaccination rates in Arab society so low? Is there any kind of sort of ideological um, opposition, an objection? I think it's fake news. It's fake news that is coming in Arabic from Arab cities saying, don't go, don't get vaccinated. It's a lie. It'll do this to you. Maybe they're jealous that there are so many vaccines here in Israel. Yes, so people are hearing it and reading it and are getting scared, and I guess they're scared. As I've said, we are just a moment before yet another elections campaign, the fourth. Do you see any change in society from the first campaign in March 2 years ago and the one now? In March 2018, we were optimistic. We had hope. Now we no longer have hope. If there won't be a fifth election campaign, I hope not. There's no hope because of what? COVID and the way the government is conducting itself? Yes, the government's conduct. With COVID, the government, it's okay. They did well. We got vaccinated. But with all their conduct and with their behavior, the way they treat the Arab sector, the fact that they don't get to feel like they belong. Who doesn't let you feel like you belong? I don't know. People keep looking at the Arab sector as Arabs, as those who don't belong to Israel. And there are many manifestations to that. If I speak Arabic on the street, people look at me. Wow, Arabic. It's still foreign? Well, maybe I personally, because I have many friends in the Jewish sector and the Arab sector, so maybe it's not as much for me, but still you feel it. You feel it in work. If there is a job and you are and if you try to apply for it, they'll always choose the Jew over the Arab. If I want to go to the airport, okay, now we don't go to the airport anymore this year, but if I want to go to the airport and if they don't take my passport and they take it to another supervisor, why? Because it says I'm Arab. So this integration and this sense of belonging is something that I miss. We still see that the representation of of the Arab sector among decision makers in parliament is still very problematic. Do you find yourself, or do you find the reflection of your opinions of who you are in the representatives of Knesset? What I do is I'm more social. I work in the society and not in politics. And I set up meetings and encounters between Arabs and Jews in my company, in my factory, the Tahini factory, just so they can meet each other, just so they can connect, just so they can collaborate. Get to know us. Don't be scared of us. We're good people. Let's tell the viewers that you are a philanthropist, that you really do so much social work. You are the head of foundation for promoting women in Arab society. And I want to ask you, do you think there is enough philanthropy in Arab society? No, certainly not. We didn't grow up on philanthropy. We don't know what philanthropy is. So the problem we have is that we donate in on holidays, and we donate food to people in church or during the holidays, to the needy, the poor who need food. But philanthropy to help others, it's not something that we have grown up on. And it's not just that, it's trailblazing philanthropy when it comes to you. We remember that over the last year, you were a focus of a lot of criticism in Arab society, and not even just in Arab society, you were banned in a way. But you've also uh, been given a lot of support, and you've also done a lot for the LGBTQ community in the Arab sector, and that's made a lot of noise. Yes, well, if each and every one of us turned our backs and said, what do we care? Well, I care. I care about Arab society. I want Arab society to be like all the other societies in Israel and elsewhere. And I wanted to help. I didn't think about being banned. I didn't think about, I just wanted to help the LGBT community because I heard about suicide. These kids commit suicide, and they leave home and they need therapy. And I said, this is just, it's exactly for me to help them. That's all that happened. And behind this hotline, there are psychologists, social workers. You know, they come to a certain age where they are confused. So we needed a hotline in Arabic. They don't all speak Hebrew, so that's all it is. Did you imagine it would go to such criticism? To reach such levels of criticism? No, I didn't imagine it, but I had a few tough days at the beginning. But all the love and all the empathy I have been given by the people here, both Jews and Arabs, Muslims, Christians, it was really so moving, really moving. I didn't expect such empathy and sympathy from everyone, and that's why I was quite happy. So you don't regret it. No, no, not at all. Well done to you. Listen, what is this about, this ability in Arab society? What does it mean? The ability to contain others, to accept others who are different, to contain something that is not necessarily aligned with the mainstream, shall we say. It is our problem. I always say to them, we are at our schools, we must give a class, a course on accepting others, on entrepreneurship, on something different than the kind of, learning material and curricula that we have. We need to raise our children. If I see someone who has a disability, we should teach our children to go and help them. We need this character. We need to teach this trait to our children from a young age. And apropos changes to strengthening things, I came across an item on a program that you had where you give 5 women, what is it? A scholarship or something at Harvard? Yes, this is a program I've been dreaming of for many years, but this year I decided to actually do something about it. I need appreciation for women, much more than just to give them on, International Women's Day, to give this woman the opportunity to go to a beauty salon or a spa. So this year, I decided to take 5 women in all sectors and to send them to Harvard to to study a course. We finance everything, but we don't decide who will go. There is a committee, a professional committee that selects the women, and they will go in November, and we will publish it on March 8th. Can I be a candidate? Can I apply? Go ahead. I want to ask you to conclude, how do you see the integration into Israeli society compared to, let's say, a kind of desire for separatism. Well, we have a desire, but we want this desire to be accepted. You know, the young people today, first of all, our girls go out and go study in university, and our boys, they are starting to get integrated, whether it's in high tech. I see many of them are working in Tel Aviv and are integrating well. I hope that it will keep going up. It will keep increasing because I really see Arab society's best interest before me, and it needs a push to grow and to get to where everyone else is. So, what would you wish yourself and your society next year? Wow. First of all, I want us to go back to routine. I want routine to come back. I'm a social person. I'm a people's person. I can't just be, isolated like that at home. I wish us all to be happy, to do well, and to put COVID behind us, to go back to our routine. Amen. Julia Zaher, thank you very much. Thank you.